Traveling through airports has never been the easiest experience. And for seniors, the journey often comes with an extra set of challenges that most of us might not immediately think about. Airports today are bigger, busier, and more confusing than ever before. The lines seem endless. The announcements echo from every direction. And security checkpoints are filled with rules and procedures that can make even the most seasoned traveler nervous. But seniors bring something to the table that younger travelers sometimes overlook: experience. With years of traveling under their belts, they've learned how to adapt, how to stay calm, and how to make their airport journey just a little bit smoother. Their wisdom, built on trial and error, can actually teach all of us how to travel with less stress and more confidence. Let's start with one of the biggest hurdles: long lines. Check-in counters and security checkpoints can stretch out forever, testing the patience of even the calmest traveler. For seniors, standing in line for extended periods of time can be uncomfortable, and sometimes even physically exhausting. Add in heavy luggage, unclear signage, and crowds of people rushing around, and it's no surprise that this part of the journey is often described as the most stressful. Many seniors say they dread this step the most, not because they don't want to travel, but because they don't want to deal with the chaos of getting through the airport before the journey even starts. Security can feel especially overwhelming. The process itself has so many steps: taking off your shoes, removing laptops, liquids, belts, jackets, and then placing everything in bins while moving along quickly so you don't hold up the line. For younger travelers, this can be annoying, but for seniors, it can become a source of real anxiety. I've heard from countless seniors who worry about whether they are following all the TSA rules correctly. The 311 liquids policy, for example, often causes confusion. What counts as a liquid? How big the containers can be? And whether or not medical liquids are allowed. Then there's the added stress of carrying medications. For someone managing multiple prescriptions, that moment at security can feel like a gamble. Will everything make it through smoothly? Will they be asked questions they weren't prepared for? And all of this happens while people are standing behind you, impatiently waiting, which only adds to the pressure. Another overlooked stressor is navigating the airport itself. Many airports today are essentially mini cities, with endless terminals, multiple floors, and confusing layouts. For someone who doesn't travel frequently, or who hasn't been to that particular airport before, it's easy to get turned around. Seniors often describe the panic of feeling lost or unsure of how far away their gate is. That panic grows even worse when the clock is ticking and boarding time is approaching. Add in the fact that walking long distances can be tiring, and suddenly, what seems like a simple task, getting from security to the gate, becomes a genuine obstacle. And then, once you finally do find your gate, there's the issue of comfort. Seniors have often told me that finding a comfortable place to sit in an airport can feel like a small victory. Many seating areas are hard, cramped, and crowded. If you've got a long layover, sitting in those chairs for hours on end can be painful. Some seniors even say they have had to sit on the floor because there simply weren't enough seats available, which is not only uncomfortable, but also difficult to manage when mobility is an issue. But here's where seniors shine. They've developed strategies to make all of this easier. Over the years, they've gathered little tricks and hacks that can turn the airport from a place of stress into a place where they actually feel prepared and in control. One of the most practical tips is smart packing. Instead of cramming everything into a heavy suitcase, many seniors swear by using packing cubes to stay organized. These cubes allow them to separate clothing, toiletries, and essentials, so that everything is easy to find without having to dig through a pile of clothes. Another favorite hack is to wear the bulkiest clothing items like jackets, boots, or sweaters onto the plane instead of trying to pack them. Not only does this save space in the suitcase, but it also keeps them warmer in chilly airports and on cold planes. And when it comes to luggage itself, a sturdy carry-on bag with wheels and a strong handle is an absolute must. Having the right bag can mean the difference between struggling through the terminal and moving with ease. One of the best modern hacks that many seniors have adopted is enrolling in TSA PreCheck or Global Entry. These programs might sound like a luxury, but for seniors, they can be a game changer. With TSA PreCheck, you don't have to remove your shoes, belts, or light jackets. You can keep your laptop and liquids in your bag, and the lines are usually much shorter. Seniors who have used these services often say it's one of the best investments they've ever made for travel. Turn security from a dreaded nightmare into a relatively quick and painless experience. Another valuable strategy is being intentional about when to fly. Seniors who have the flexibility in their schedules often choose to book flights during off-peak hours. That means avoiding the early morning rush, the midday business traveler crowds, and the evening surge. Flying mid-morning or early afternoon often means shorter lines, quieter airports, and less stress overall. On top of that, seniors often explore budget airlines or special discounts that cater specifically to older travelers. It's surprising how many airlines quietly offer senior discounts, but they're rarely advertised. One senior told me she saved hundreds of dollars just by asking her travel agent if there were any discounts available, something she hadn't even thought to do before. With those savings, she was able to plan more trips, turning what was once a financial burden into a new opportunity for adventure. Of course, one of the most popular hacks seniors share is taking advantage of airport lounges. At first glance, lounges might seem like a luxury reserved for frequent flyers or business travelers. But seniors have discovered that with the right credit card, membership, or even a day pass, they can access these spaces too. Lounges offer a quiet, comfortable place to sit, often with plush chairs, free snacks, drinks, and sometimes even hot meals. Some lounges even provide showers, nap rooms, or spa services. For seniors, this is more than just comfort, it's relief. Instead of sitting in noisy, crowded terminals, they can rest, recharge, and prepare for the next leg of their journey in peace. Many seniors say that once they discovered lounges, they couldn't imagine traveling without them. Another tip that comes up again and again is asking for assistance. Many seniors are hesitant to do this because they don't want to feel like a burden, but the truth is, airports have services designed specifically to help. Wheelchair assistance, for example, isn't just for those who can't walk. It's also for those who may struggle with long distances. Having someone escort you through the airport not only eases the physical burden, but also reduces stress, since the staff knows exactly where to go and how to get you there quickly. Similarly, airline staff can help with luggage, directions, and even rebooking flights if delays occur. Seniors who've learned to ask for help often find that their entire experience becomes smoother and far less stressful. The wisdom of seniors doesn't stop at logistics. It extends to mindset as well. Many emphasize the importance of patience and perspective. Airports will always be busy, delays will always happen, and security will always have rules that feel frustrating. But instead of letting those things ruin the trip, seniors remind us that the journey is part of the adventure. Bringing along a good book, downloading movies or shows, carrying a crossword puzzle, or simply people watching can turn downtime into something enjoyable rather than stressful. One senior told me that she always packs a small bag of snacks, not just for herself, but to share with others if she sees someone struggling. That simple act of kindness, she said, always makes her feel calmer and more connected, even in the middle of a chaotic airport. Over time, seniors have created a toolbox of hacks that make traveling not just bearable, but sometimes even enjoyable. Packing smart, using pre-check, choosing the right flights, finding lounges, asking for assistance, and maintaining a calm mindset are all pieces of the puzzle. And what's inspiring is that these hacks don't just apply to seniors, they can help anyone. Younger travelers who adopt these habits early will find themselves far better prepared for decades of travel ahead. In the end, the lesson seniors teach us is that travel doesn't have to be a source of stress. With preparation, patience, and a few smart strategies, airports can be manageable and sometimes even pleasant. Their wisdom is proof that experience really is the best teacher, and by listening to their stories and advice, we can all become better, calmer, and happier travelers. So the next time you find yourself standing in a long line, rushing through security, or feeling lost in a huge airport, think about the seniors who've been there before and figured out ways to make it easier. Their tips might just save you time, money, and a whole lot of stress. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one passing down your own hacks, helping the next generation of travelers navigate the ever-changing world of airports. And before we wrap up, if you found these insights helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you won't miss future travel tips and stories. It really helps support the channel and keeps this community growing. Also, be sure to check out the links in the description below. I've included some essential travel health products I personally use and recommend. They've made a huge difference in keeping my trips smoother and more comfortable, and they might just do the same for you. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next video.